That's it. Here we go. Another episode of the Bull of MLM Network Marketing Warfare. I'm Dominic Izzo. I'm the host. I am the Bull of MLM, and we just have conversations about this industry, the network marketing space, direct sales, MLM, multi-level marketing. It's not affiliate marketing, but this does kind of categorize in that too. And to help anybody who is looking for that proper discernment. Should I do it? Should I get involved in this? Should I not? Oh, I keep seeing it's a pyramid scam. I'm watching all these anti-MLM women online who are doing these makeup tutorials, and they're telling me they got to the top of their company and then they left, so it's clearly a scam. We're having a conversation about whether or not you should join, and we're giving you our sides of it. Delia De Jesus, you're joining me today, network marketing professional. We connected on YouTube. You saw some of my stuff, and you were gracious enough to comment some really good opinion. Like you didn't come to my content and go, "Oh, I agree with you. This is great." You were discerning. You were like, okay. Okay. And then we started commenting back and forth, and we had a phone call, and it was like, all right, I got to interview you because you know what you're talking about. So number one, welcome. Thanks for joining today.
Thank you.
And number two, give everybody a 360-degree view of who you are in this industry. And then let's have a conversation. Let's talk about the business.
Okay, great. Thank you, Dominic. I so greatly appreciate your content. It's very engaging. And that's why I reached out and I give a little bit more in terms of perspective about the industry. But I was first introduced to this industry in, I believe it was 1993. And Dexter Yeager, we have a common hero um, as well. And I was introduced into his organization. And right now, currently, I'm an organizational psychologist and I do a lot of training, personal development, organizational development. But I have an affinity towards network marketing. And as a network marketer myself, as a team builder, I see myself more as a department developer. In other words, rather than see myself as independent of the company that I currently work with, I see myself as a department of the company and not someone that is fully outside of the company. And, for myself, I find network marketing, I love the network marketing industry. I'm going to establish that from the beginning. And everyone I speak to, I tell them I love the industry and I love it because it gives a sense of freedom. And the freedom that I'm looking for, I found it in the network marketing industry. Financial freedom, independent development, the ability to have my own opinion, the ability to work on my own. All of these are values that I encompass for myself. And it is what I want for myself and for my grandchildren, for my daughters. I want them to be independent, fully independent, and to be able to function in this society. So network marketing gives me that. And it's why I've decided, I used to work in corporate America. I work with large companies, Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter, Payne Weber, and I found myself kind of my talents weren't fully utilized. So I had to branch out and really find myself and develop my skills independent of what I was getting in corporate America. And here I am. I'm a strong advocate for network marketing, and I love it. And I'm gonna, until my last dying breath, I'm gonna promote network marketing to everybody.
I'm going to ask the obvious question, which is, okay, you're clearly a professional, psychology, business savvy. You listed off some of the names of companies you work with. Why did you take network marketing seriously? Didn't you see it as, oh, it's a pyramid scam and all this? What made you go, okay, I legitimately see this as a very serious business?
Oh, that's an excellent question. Actually, before network marketing, I wanted to have a business. You see, in corporate America, I was very limited in what I can do. So somewhere around 1990, I began to look at businesses. I started looking at franchises. I did soap. I created my own soap from tallow. I mean, tallow, beef tallow. I would go to the butcher shop and tell them to give me their beef fat,
Mm.
and I got the chemicals to saponify the fat, and that's really where I started. I had my home full of homemade soap, and I'm not talking about the one that's available today that you melt it. I'm talking about putting the chemicals and mixing it up and taking the heat and all of that. I was already business savvy. I started one of the franchises that I had looked at that time was the Body Shop. Very famous. They aligned with my personal values and how I felt about the environment, nature, and things of that sort. So I already came into network marketing with a business perspective. I already knew that I have a product, and I also had my own product line, by the way. I knew that I have a product, and you have $10, and I want to make an exchange, my product for your $10.
Hmm.
When I saw network marketing, it wasn't introduced to me as network marketing. It was introduced as a home-based business, and I that's what I was looking for. I said, "Oh, okay, this just makes perfect sense." No one really told me it was network marketing, and it was kind of all I know was I was invited to this meeting in someone's home, and I was introduced to a business, and I said, "Oh, this makes a lot of sense." It wasn't until later on that I began to learn and become knowledgeable about the business that I realized, hey, this is network marketing. I did not understand why people weren't saying, hey, network marketing is a great way to establish an additional source of income. I didn't understand none of that. I was ignorant, but I had business knowledge.
So it's kind of important the way that people are introduced too. Then, because if you were introduced possibly, oh, you're going to get rich quick in your first 6 months, all this, you probably would have said, I'm not doing this. But considering the fact that you were introduced this as, listen, this is home based business, this is work. It's not the oh, you're gonna be on a beach drinking margaritas, in your bikini doing all you was, so it was kind of introduced to you seriously. So we need to start establishing again off the bat when we talk to people that it's important to let them know that this is work. It's business. It is working at home. It's not this, because everyone sells the dream and they go down this path of just this sensationalism and emotionalism, which is the number one killer for this industry. Because 2-3 weeks into it, somebody goes, "I haven't made any money. I'm quitting. It's a scam." Well, we have to go back to how it was presented to people in the first place. So it sounds like you got presented correctly when you first got exposed to it.
Oh, I was. I was. The presenter was very professional and presented it as a business, but the person who invited me saw me as his lottery ticket because he already knew that I was conducting business from my home. So for him, I was his lottery ticket, which kind of annoyed me
Mm-hmm.
because then he started to rush me along the way. And I'm thinking, well, look, I could go back to corporate America and get a lot of that there. That's not why I'm doing this. But when I present this business, every single person that I speak to knows that I'm coming from a business perspective. I'm not looking to get them into anything. I'm looking for them to see the business for what it is, the possibility of establishing a home based business, real, repeat, serious income. So when I talk to you, you already know I'm not just coming to show you something secretly. And that's what a lot of people do. And I believe that that's where a lot of people get hurt because they say, oh, come and take a look at something. And like, what am I going to look at? What do you want me to look at? And I think that's a huge mistake. I think that we have to tell people, look, I have a home-based business. I believe that it can benefit you, not me. You see, I know that the money is there. Okay. It's just finding the people that want the money. And the money is just a consequence of all of the activity that happens. And it's so much more than money. And that's why I'm patient, I'm kind, I'm compassionate. and I meet people where they are, and I talk to them about themselves. I talk to them about their families because I know all about me. So I'm not coming in, hey, help me out and join this network, and you're going to make a lot of money. All you need is two people, and you're going to grow. And I don't do any of that because it doesn't serve them, it hurts them because I'm selling them a lottery ticket, and I don't want to be that type of advocate. I want to
Yeah.
present it to them from the perspective, look, if you're looking for something like I was that can help you and your family, I believe that this can help you. And that's how I move people forward.
Yeah, this is going to be an important conversation because a lot of the conversations I've had from other people who are in the business, it's tactics and whatnot. But we need to talk about the psychology of this, which I think this is going to be a root problem. A couple different things. You reached out to me after the last interview I did, and you told me something about emotional contagion. And then you and I had a conversation about a good 20, 30 minutes where we're talking about meeting people at the level of where they are, which is my number one problem because I'm go, 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 go. I'm high speed, low
Right.
drag. And we know that a good 90+% of the people out there are not going to be like that. Let's start with the psychology of the business. Number one, I don't see any reason for kind of beating around the bush on this. The business does attract. Am I right to say this? Does the business attract weak people? Because you seem
Oh,
to.
absolutely.
So let's talk about
Absolutely.
this. So what does the business attract, and then what does it repel? What are the kind of personalities and behaviors of people that attribute to such a high failure rate? And then why? But we know mathematically speaking, it is extremely successful.
The business is attracting the weak minded lottery mentality personality. And I have run through numbers, and I'm gonna be right up front. I have run over 2,000 people one on one, okay, in conversations. And I throw those numbers out there because I want people to understand this is work, it is real, and you're gonna go through numbers. It attracts weak minded people that are looking for that lottery ticket that I want to make, $5,000 by the end of the month. And I give them the wake up call, and I sit down with them and I tell them this is work. If you think that you're going to make $5,000 without developing yourself, your psychology, your mindset, then I'm not the person to work with you because I cannot take you to $5,000 by the end of the month. You can bring in any number of people, but every single one of those individuals has to come in with the right mindset that it is a business. It does take time. And the business repels the weak minded people that don't want to work,
Mm-hmm.
that do not want to develop themselves. You do have to develop yourself. And as a psychologist, I immediately make a full assessment of the person that I'm talking to. They don't know it, but I'm doing it because I need to know, can I work with this person? Can I help this person achieve goals? Number one, here are the things I'm looking for. Are you a learner? Do you want to read? Do you want to take the training that I'm offering you? Because I do one on one training and I also do group training. Will you participate in the group training? Will you participate in your own development? So the business does attract the weak minded people. The stronger minded people, I want a lot more of those. They're very far and few. Out of 100 people, I might find one strong person. And that strong person, it's not coming in with a lottery mentality. They do know that it is a business, and you can't run the wool over their eyes and say, oh, you could make all this money. You have such a strong personality. I don't do that. I take each individual and I give them the same level of respect that I would a weak minded person and a strong minded person. Okay. Now, the strong minded person is that person that is looking for something more serious, but they already know what they're looking for. And this may or may not be for them. Okay. So it does attract different on a spectrum, on a scale. from the strongest, strong-minded person to the weakest, weak-minded person. And I know that I can blow someone out of the water very easily by asking them several questions. And that would tell me the questions are for me to know, can I train this person? Are they in the right mindset? Because if they're not, for me, it's going to take a lot of work to get that person to where they need to get to. And I have said no to many people. I have said, look, I really don't think this is for you. I really wish you all the best that life has to offer you, but I'm shutting down this session. And I do that because I know I can't train them. I don't fool myself because it's work on my end. 90% of the work is mine, 10% is theirs. But that 10% that they're going to put in is work for them. So they do have to come in with the correct mindset in order for me to be able to take them through different levels.
How is the business still perpetuating failure when I was talking to a couple of my team members the other day, and we were looking at somebody who's a leader with another company, and this person is like holding up cash on their Facebook and Instagram, and hey, I just hit the, and there's so many like emojis of like the dollar signs and money bags in their posts, and I'm going, this is not what we represent at all. This is, it's now it's 2023. And we've known that the 80s and the 90s really shit the bed for the industry, right? I mean, I was approached in 1993 because I was 18 years old. You got to do Amway. I was working at Blockbuster Video at the time, and I had a great personality. And people tried to recruit me for Amway. And I'm like, I don't know what this is, and I love working on the video store, so no, I'm out of this. But it was the whole get rich quick back then. Here we are, 40 years later, and people are still doing the same tactics. Why is it that two things? I know that famous saying, there's a sucker born every minute, and it seems that a lot of people in network marketing still capitalize off of it. Why is it that it seems that the people who really they're still selling the emotionalism, they're still selling the sensationalism? Yeah, they're $1 million plus earners. But those of us who are really, we're in the trenches and we're trying to change the industry by putting integrity in it, this and that. Why are we having a harder time focusing on building the right way versus the massive way of just going out and still selling the dream and whatnot? Are we stupid for doing this? And is this going to hurt us or benefit us in the long run?
You know, that's a really very great question, because I have even asked myself, am I doing it the correct way? And what is it that I'm exactly doing? Because when I look at these $1 million earners and they keep popping up on my feed, and I do get annoyed because they really do hurt the industry. You have 100 people, only one person out of that 100, and this is numbers. This is not my numbers. Tim Sales talks about this. Dexter Yeager in his Millionaire Mentality book also spoke about it. Eric Worre talks about it. This is not you just running through numbers, okay? And it hurts the industry, and going back, you only have one individual that's going to be the $1 million earner. What the $1 million earner is not telling you is, look, I have a system because I've also looked into these systems. I have a system that you have to pay me $5,000 every month just to use my system, but it's going to make you $20,000. See, this is the part they don't tell the people, and why I get annoyed, because they do hurt the industry, and they're just filtering through lots of numbers. I heard one advertiser actually say, look, I get 900 leads a day, and you could do the same thing. For someone like myself, I say, yeah, that's great. How much is your system costing to generate that 900 leads? But you got to go through 10,000 people in one day to get 900, okay? So tell me what it's costing me up front. Someone like myself, it's going to be a hard to run that game up on me. But you're also hurting the industry, because you have individuals that I know that I've worked with that are only looking for $100, $200, and they can't see the big numbers. Why? Because as a society, we have been trained through the education system not to look at numbers. We don't look at numbers. Okay. We look at the $15 an hour population, and that's 98% of the people are the $15 an hour people. Okay. The 2%, so out of 100, you're going to find two people that are going to see the business for what it is, are going to blow it up. But that's very far and few in between. Okay. So these $1 million earners that are proposing that you're going to get 900 leads in one day, they do hurt the 98% of the population. And I totally dislike it. And it's the major reason why I decided to step forward and say, you know what? People need to be properly trained. They need to understand that they need to develop themselves. You can't, if you're not a salesperson, if you're a nurse and you're coming in with the hope of making $100, $200, and you present this to your family and your friends, and they say to you, that's a pyramid scam. Why are you involved in that? You're a nurse. Your emotions are going to be hurt. You're going to be like, oh, wow, I just got taken for a trip. And I didn't realize that. Now the person who brought you in must have the skill set to say to you, wait, stop, hold on, breathe for a minute. Okay. It's not a scam, and it may not be for your family and friends, but you need to develop your skills to sell. And it's not about, hey, buy my product. It's about, look, I have, this company that I've become involved with, and I'd like you to take a look. It's a business perspective. They do have a great line of products. I use them. I consume them. Maybe it can help you, because it's all about them. It's not so much about you. And that's where, these mega $1 million people really hurt those people that are coming in just wanting to make a few $100s.
Why are we vilifying that? Why is it that the only success in network marketing is if you make $1 million plus a year? What is wrong with somebody being in the business and all of a sudden they're able to cover their car note every month? Why is that failure? If somebody makes $400 or $500 a month, is that wrong? Did they fail the business?
Not.
So why are we not celebrating somebody who comes in and their standard is always the person who's the diamond of the company on stage? I was living in my car making $7. I made $7 that year, and now I own 3 mansions. Why are we always celebrating that person and not the person who's like, yeah, I talk to, X amount of people a month. I move product, and maybe I got 10, 12 customers and I make $500 a month and I'm happy. Why is that not celebrated?
It's not celebrated because it's not cool to make $100 a month extra. It's not cool to just cover your card note. And there's a lot of egotism that goes along with that. I'm the $1 million earner and look at me. There's a lot of ego behind that. It's a psychological dysfunctionality where you're saying, well, look, I'm the leader. I got this. So shut up and listen. You're devaluing the people who just want to make $100 a month. Not everybody is going to come in wanting to make $1 million a month or a year. Okay, so we tend to look at ourselves as, oh, we did it. Yeah, you could do it, but what they don't tell the people is that, look, I did a lot of reading. I went to a lot of seminars. I went to a lot of conferences. I got a lot of knowledge. So because they did some work up front, they tend to look down on that person that only wants to make $100. Oh, you're a loser. Oh, you don't got no goals in life. Well, maybe my goal wasn't to become $1 million earner. Maybe my goal is just to get $100 so I could pay my light bill. And it's all about the ego, about what you did. But I think people fail to recognize and realize this is a people business. This is all about the people. This is all about helping that one person who wants to make $100. Who knows if that one person might later say, well, I want to make $200. Now you have to say, well, you're going to have to do a little bit of reading on books. You have to do a little insightful thinking about yourself and to see if I can help you get to that $200 that you want to earn. Because just because you earned $100 doesn't mean that you're going to earn it again. Okay, because you have to go through numbers of people to present this. You have to have the right mindset. So the people that are the $1 million earners, and I've spoken to them, even within my own leadership teams, I have had to say, okay, I pretty much have to undertake this myself because I see I'm not going to get the help that I'm looking for, and that's why I'm stepping up. It's not anything bad about them. It's that I have a certain personality and I have to meet the needs of my personality. So I can't move at anyone else's pace. So, we tend to look down on people that are just struggling down there and say, whatever it is that's going through the person's mind, it's really more egocentric than it is anything else. Because, people that are making money tend to be a little bit too fluffed up about themselves and they don't separate the money from the person. So it does have a personality attachment to it. And, if you're not a good person, the money's going to amplify it. Period.
Yeah, it's like steroids. It's like steroids. If you're an asshole, they make you a bigger asshole. If you're an emotional wreck, it cries all the time. It's going to make you a bigger emotional wreck, cries all the time. So let's talk about the responsibility of those in there. So we're going to take like me. You brought up emotional contagion, and you and I had a conversation where I'm high speed, low drag. I want everybody to charge the hill and take the beach. And I come from a sports background, law enforcement background, to where when a coach or a superior officer said to do something, you didn't question them. You just did it. That's also, right. I was born in 75. So when I got my first job, I was making $3 an hour and I was so happy. But when the manager said, do something, I swept the floors, right? You didn't, that's not what we have today. So meeting people, this is a two-part question. Number one, how do we meet people where they are without losing my goals, my passion? Meaning if I want to make that $1 million a month, I can't keep surrounding myself with negative people who are, well, I didn't make any calls today. I didn't do that, but I still need those people, right? So I want to make myself available. So because they say you want to be successful, surround yourself with successful people. Well, we know that in network marketing, it's not always going to happen. So how do I do that and be successful and then not turn in to the anti-MLM community, right? Because we saw them, a lot of them are successful, and now they're so overwhelmed with how negative the business is that they just spew hate on it. So I want to talk about that. That's a very likely possibility is people come in, they've got their own perspective. I'm going to make $1 million a month. They want to drag all these people across the finish line. It doesn't happen. So all of a sudden it's a scam now. So it's got to be, let's go do anti-MLM content. Bottom line is, where's the responsibility of the leader in the business? And everybody's the leader of their own team, and meeting people at their own pace, at their own level, without collapsing the structure they built underneath them.
Number one is you as the leader, you have to develop yourself. You have to know that your goals, you want to make $5,000 a month, then you bring in Sally who only wants $100. You need a paradigm shift as the leader. You need to prepare yourself to talk to 500 people, okay? Because you're going to have Sally. Sally is only going to want to make $100. You want to make 5,000, okay? You have to psychologically make paradigm shift in your mind. So, okay, I have to talk to 600 people, okay? But I also have to help Sally. This is all about you, the leader, developing yourself. You need to develop the skill set where you're immediately reading the person, okay? You have to read them as you're reading a book. You have to read them and know where they are psychologically. And if they're the person that you can take with you, run faster. Not everybody's going to come in and run fast with you. You're a fast runner. You're going to need fast runners, but you're also going to get the slow runners. Like it or not, you're going to get the slow runners. The responsibility is with the leader and not the person who wants to make $100. You need to psychologically prepare yourself to learn how to read people, and this is a skill. You need to make the assessment right on the spot when you're talking to them. You have to listen to them so that you can understand what they want, what they need. Okay. And you as the leader, you have to continuously develop your skill to read people. And this is a skill development. You have to know where you are. So you do not place that undue pressure on the person who wants to make $100 where you're turning them off and pushing them. Well, how come you're not talking to 20 people a day? Okay. When you develop your skill, you can now, if that person says, well, maybe I want to make $500, how can I do it? Now you could step in and say, well, I talk to 100 people a day. Let me show you how to do it. Now you're going to take that person by the hand and you're going to say, let me introduce you to how I talk to people. I just want you to see me. I just want you to observe me. And this is how I do it. I'm telling you how I do it. I take each person by the hand, and based upon where they are and what they want for themselves, I will literally take them outside and introduce them to talking to strangers. I do it all of the time. And I tell them, listen, how comfortable are you if I take you and I show you how to talk to people? What's your comfort level? Do you feel anxiety? Do you feel bothered? Does it irritate you? All of these are questions that you have to ask them so you can gauge where they're at. Maybe you can take them to a $5,000 level, but you have to develop yourself. And this is what people are not getting. You cannot bring someone in that wants to make $100 and take them to a $5,000 level if that's not what they're looking for. If that isn't what they want, they're not motivated for that. So you are the leader. There's a reason why you're leading. Leadership is not, look at me. Leadership is let me show you. Let me take you by the hand. Let me take you. I will break down the step one, but step number one is we're going to look for a certain type of personality because this is how I do it. We're going to look for a certain type of personality. They have to have a sense of invitation to me where they have a nice demeanor, because if someone is looking really angry, I'm not going to approach them. And this is how I start. I say, hey, how you doing? My name is Delia. I'd like to know, I'm developing a business in this area, and I would like to know if you know anyone who is looking to generate an additional source of income or just looking for something part-time. And this is me talking to strangers. And I have my trainee next to me, and I'm showing them and I'm telling them, this is how you do it. Okay. Are you comfortable doing this? Let me know. If you're not, it's okay. I'm not going to, hang you for it. What I'm going to do is introduce you to some books so that you can read up on the book and develop your skill. Now, keep in mind, I have a higher skill level set that I've developed myself. So you as the leader, to meet people where they are, you have to read them, you have to ask them questions, and you have to know if they're telling you the truth. Okay? Because you're going to have people that say, oh, yeah, I want to make $5,000. But do you really? Are you going to do the work? Are you going to read the books? Are you going to go through the skill training process? If I put you through the skill training process, and skill training is actually showing the person how to do it. Okay, I cannot teach you how to write if I don't know how to write. I cannot teach you how to ride a bike if I don't know how to ride a bike. So you as the leader, you bear the responsibility to know what skill you're developing in that person. Too many people are telling people go out and talk to people, go out and meet 10 people, go out. That's hard. That
Oh
is
my
hard.
gosh, yes.
That is almost near impossible. That's almost like me taking a toddler and try to push the toddler to walk, and the toddler is still crawling, or the infant is still crawling. It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work. So you as a leader, it is your responsibility to develop your skills first before you can take anyone to the next level in their life. You
How
just
do
can't do it.
how do we as leaders then not lose our drive, if you will? So how do I stay like I want to attract more level 10 people. But I do find that if I talk to Jane and Jane's on my team and Jane's doing the old, oh, I want to make $1 million. And, I've been talking to Jane for 3 months. Jane, I didn't make any calls today. My kids, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I've talked about the problems of bringing friends in this business. Talked about the problems of being friendly with your team, because the more that you open up, to the friend side, the more that they feel okay just not doing work. And that's all human nature, right? The problem is then how do we as leaders not lose ourselves in, all right, I recruited 20 people. We know that, 18 of them are not going to do anything. How do I prevent myself from getting lost in trying to always serve the 18 who just, they don't flat out just not do anything. Some of them disappear slowly. Some of them disappear quickly. Some of them keep leading you on. How do you discern properly as a leader, and how do you not get lost with your personal goals in the mess of those who are going to quit and complain and all that?
You as a leader, you need to know that you're going to have to talk, you're going to have to go through the numbers, you're going to have to sort. There's a sales concept that's called sorting, and you have to learn the skill of sorting, because as you go through the numbers, you're going to get 20 people. You're going to get out of those 20, 50 of them are going to be super excited because they're going to make $5,000. And, you have to protect your energy. I have a battery here. This battery has a limited energy level. Okay. When it's wasted, I have to go buy another batteries. Humans have the same limitations and energy. How do you not get down when someone that you thought, okay, was going to make it, and they fall out of your group for whatever their life reasons are that you have no control over, and they fall out of your group? You get demotivated. You like, wow, I just gave this person 24 hours of my life that I'm never going to get back, and they're just gone, and they're not going to make it. You have to protect your energy, and you have to know that people have different levels of motivation. People have also trauma triggers that affect how they move forward in life. And it's not network marketing related. It's just life, how they move forward in life. And some of these triggers are going to kick off for them while they're doing this business. And they do not know that these triggers are going off. Okay. And it's going to happen. They're going to fall off. So you as the leader, you need to prepare yourself emotionally, psychologically, and mentally to know that not everyone who is going to join your team is going to stay on your team. You're going to have other teams that are going to come and sweep them away from your team. It's going to make you angry. So you are either going to have to look at it as a business situation, not a personal situation. Now, I hear a lot of leaders talking about, well, you really got to get to know the people, and you got to let them know you really care. Look, I could let you know how much I care about you all I want. Okay. And I can smooth and love on you, and connect with your children, invite them to my birthday parties, to my grandchildren birthday parties. None of that is going to guarantee me that you're going to stay in my team. and that you're going to be motivated because you have life issues that you're bringing into the business that cannot be separated. So I could do all the smooching and that I want with you. It's not going to guarantee me that you're going to stay with me in my business. So as a leader, what you need to do is you need to develop your emotional energy and know that you are going to take this person and walk 3 miles with that person, but they have to walk with you. And if they fall down, if they get heavy emotionally, you have to, you kind of have to become a psychologist without carrying the psychology title. And you're going to have to say, look, I got you. If you can get up and walk, I could walk with you another 2 miles. But if they say I can't do it, and they say I can't do it in many ways, they don't return your calls, they don't respond to your texts, they don't respond to your emails, and you do everything that you can to try to get them to get back up, you have to know that your batteries are going to give out. If you stay with this person, your batteries are going to waste and you're not going to have energy for the next person. So you have to know when to pack it up and when to leave. It's not that you're leaving them, but they have to know that you're there for them. If they want to come back, look, all of the people that I've recruited and I've trained, they're open to come back to me and I will pick them up. But I'm going to pick them up where they are. But I'm running. I'm running through the numbers. I'm sorting. And I have to do that because I have to protect my emotional energy. And that is how, for me as a leader, I keep my emotional energy intact. Like I said, I could sit down with anyone and I have been through 2,000 people. I don't care what anyone tells me. You shouldn't say those numbers. Yeah, well, that's my reality. I have been through 2,000 people. And the way I keep my emotional energy is knowing that I might have this person that is going to run, but if they don't want to run, I immediately, within the first 5 minutes, I assess if that person is going to be someone that I want to work with. If they at least bring a little bit of their own emotional power, I can take them, I can carry them. But then for them to stay is how fast they want to go. Another thing that I do is I give people homework. I give them books to read, and I want to know, I actually develop a plan for them. I've been giving people plans based on what they want. And I tell them, this is the plan that it's going to work for you. And I have a variety of different personalities that I'm working with. And I make recommendations for them based on what I am assessing for them. And I tell them, this is what you need to do. And, I'm going to take you step by step. I do baby steps. I take them through the first small steps. And if they pass those small steps, I know that I can now carry them to the bigger, get into the more deeper skill development of sorting, sales training, public speaking, developing their emotional energy, keeping them strong. Okay, so the responsibility is on you to develop you. And that's why I differ from those people that are saying, oh, I generate 900 leads a day and you can too. Yeah, but do I have the emotional power to take that person to where they need to? One of the reasons why I stay in network marketing, why I love it, and I'm going to be here to my last dying breath, it is because I could develop people. And people development is one of the major components of network marketing.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like we go from product or service selling to then when you become a leader, even if it's a leader, a team of two, now all of a sudden your skill set has to become more and you're constantly developing yourself. It's network marketing it's a very, very, very dynamic personal development business. Now let's talk about the other side of the business, which is the anti-MLM community, who is fighting just as hard as we are to give credit to the industry. There's a lot of stuff we agree with them on. I mean, we've talked about it here on the sensationalism, the hype, the motivationalism, the people who want to drag people across the finish line instead of meeting where they are. What is the How do you, I guess, let me put it this way. What do you think or feel when you watch some of their content? How do you view them? Do you view them as people who they're bitter and they hate the industry, or do you see them as people who got to positions of leadership? They maybe pressured, couldn't handle it. That's how I see a lot of them. Because how are you making, thousands and thousands of dollars a month and then saying you quit? It's a scam. Because people are going to gravitate towards that. Let's go listen to them bitch and complain, because it's easier to be a part of the negative side than it is to power through and succeed. Why is the anti-MLM community so attractive to this industry, and how do you view it?
First, when I see anti-MLMers in their YouTube channels and things of that nature, I feel an energy source of anger. I feel bitterness on their part, and I feel that their leadership teams somehow failed them, and they have gotten angry. And also, again, I'm going to throw the concept of people experience trauma in their life, and their trauma triggers are kicking in, and they go on a ranting rage because they need an avenue in which to vent. They need a venting medium. And social media, unfortunately, has become a venting medium for many people. And they're reacting rather than sitting back and saying, okay, why did this not work for me? I did reach out to one anti-MLMer, and I asked her, if you reach such a high capacity within your company, why did you quit? Why do you not do it anymore? And her response to me was, well, you got to keep recruiting.
Yeah.
And and I'm like, but that's every business.
Mm-hmm.
Every grocery store needs a new person to come in. It doesn't matter if you had Charlie that was your customer for 10 years and Charlie just passed away. You still need new customers. So why? And what I had deduced from her conversation is that she had failed to develop herself. She had failed to develop her recruiting skills. She had failed to develop her sales skills, her sorting skills. She did not develop herself. And this may or may not be, I don't want to say that I'm blaming all the leaders. I'm not blaming all the leaders. I could have taken that stance. I have been angry with the leadership on my team, and I have come at them. Why you didn't teach me this? Why you're not doing that? Why? One day I said, like, what are you doing? Why are you beating up these people? Because I could have taken the stance of my leadership is not helping me. They're not training me, and they're not doing this, and they're not doing that. Rather than I sat down one day and I took a look at myself. So with these anti-MLMers, I kind of feel compassionate towards them, and sometimes I want to reach out to them. I don't do it because they have a lot of angry energy, and
Mm-hmm.
energy is contagious. Emotions are contagious, and I run. If they say stay 6 feet away from people, believe me, I stay 12, 18 feet away from them because emotional contagion is real, and I don't want their energy on me. So I don't reach out to them, but I do feel a lot of compassion towards them. I would like to talk to them and have a conversation with them. I haven't done it. I don't know that they would be open to having a conversation with me that would explore them deeper. It's not about your leadership now. I want to know about you. I want to know what is it that's going on um, in your psyche that causes you to demonstrate so much anger
Several
towards the industry.
several of them, who all are very open on their social media about their personal trauma, family trauma, abuse, depression, medication, miscarriages. And it's the misery loves company. So let's talk about
Right.
this for a second. Why do and I'll be a little bit sexist. This industry clearly is dominated by women. Women
Mhm.
have this energy of, we know how women wind up dealing with men, right? Women They're all in competition with each other until a man comes along, says something slightful, then every woman becomes an ally, and then they just team up on the man. It's almost the same thing in this industry. I attack the industry. I got drug into the anti-MLM community 6 months ago, and I gave them the exact same energy they gave me back. And then all of a sudden, I was a bully. They don't they don't debate. They won't. They will not come out and have a conversation. You might have luck if you come to them gently, but with me, that's not it's just, it won't happen. But all of them that I've seen, personal trauma, family issues, daddy problems, I'm on this medication, I had this miscarriage, and every one of them speak in a very negative tonality, the cadence of their voice, condescension. I mean, if you watch their yeah, we all know that this business is it's a pyramid. It's the conversation condescension. Why is that so attractive to women? Women flock to that. The comments are insane. Thousands of women. I did this business for 5 months. I did this business for 5 years. It's a scam. You go, girl. The entire Mean Girls Club that they are winding up trying to fight against in the pro MLM community, they're doing in the background. So for women who are looking to get in this business, how can they avoid both sides of the drama?
You have to look at this as more of a social issue. It's a society issue. Okay. This is not just specific to network marketing industry at all. Women are angry. Women are angry because a lot of the pressures placed on them by society. You have to be a mother, you have to be a lover, you have to be sexy, you have to be pretty, you have to be a certain type of stereotypical type of person. And women are really venting from the social issues and the social pressures that are placed upon them. So you introduce them to network marketing. They're coming in with their own life traumas. Unfortunately, our society is not yet, and I'm pushing, everyone to become aware that mental health is a critical issue in our society. So a lot of these women that are angry are women that have not sought trauma healing, have not sought the psychological assistance that they need, because society still in general, this is totally independent of network marketing. This is not a network marketing issue. Unfortunately, we have to deal with it because we are network marketers, and we have to deal with a lot of the anger issues that women are bringing into this industry. And I would like to, through this media, encourage women, which I'm doing. I do have an emotional healing session that I do via Zoom with women from any walks of life to help them heal. Because as a society, we're not healing the women. And the women, you see, when you suggest to a woman that she get the psychiatric help that she needs, all of a sudden that's an attack on her, because you're telling her you're dysfunctional. There's something wrong with you. You're totally you're gone. Your mind is gone, and that's very hurtful to any person, including a woman. That says to us, "Oh, I'm broken. Oh my God, like what's wrong with me?" And I know because I've dealt this. I've dealt with my own traumas. I come from a family history of violence. I enter the workplace and I experience violence. I have, and I say to people, I should not be the positive, encouraging, empowering person that I am. I should be angry, bitter, and bopping everybody over the head because life dealt me wrong. But Tony Robbins says that life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. So, what I have done for myself is not blame other people for all of the trauma that has happened to me. And a lot of these women, unfortunately, do not have a way out. Social media is giving them a way out. And if they have a failure in network marketing, they're blaming network marketing. But I can promise you that it's not network marketing for which they're angry. They just happen to find a community of people that commiserate with them,
The one
that
thing,
welcome them, that say you're the greatest thing since apple pie and I love you. And you see the human side of that, the psychological side of that is you are accepting me. You're accepting me with my trauma. You're accepting me with my hurts and my anger. So I'm going to give you more anti MLM
mhm,
um, dialogue because you're giving me what I want
we
and
do.
you're accepting me. And that is where the problem lies.
We do the one thing we do in network marketing is it is like the predatory guy at the bar who's going to say anything he can to wind up just getting laid. Oh yeah, you're going to get rich quick. Oh, you're going to have time freedom. Oh. So I do empathize with that, and I condemn that, and we have to change that. So that's something that we do have to address on this. We got about 2 minutes left here. Number one, where can people wind up connecting with you? How can they find you? How can they support you, find your work? Or if they like how you present and they want to, partner with you, where can people funnel to you?
They can find me Instagram, and I know Jesse Lee Ward said the same thing, but I use Instagram a lot at Delia de Jesus 2020. If you connect with me there, that is me. That's actually me. I don't have a social media manager. They could connect with me there on YouTube. They could look at my YouTube channel. It's Delia D. I think it's 7009 and I can send you the links if they want that as well. On my YouTube channel, I'm putting out a lot of training. It's free. It's free training. You don't have to pay for it, and you're going to learn a lot. And my intention is that every person that is a network marketer can learn to develop their skills for them. And this is skills development training, and that's how they could connect with me.
This is great. I think this is an avenue that you and we need to have a couple more conversations like this.
Absolutely.
Because the
Absolutely.
psychology of a lot of things, right? The personal responsibility. How do we
Yes.
get involved in the business and go, okay, how do I really make this work? Or how do I discern this isn't for me? Or how do I, walk away from this without saying, oh, it's a pyramid scam? Leaders, how do I meet people at their level, which is, gosh, that's my worst thing, right? And that's that's my journey now because I'm all go, go, go. So this is a very important conversation to have to
Yes.
really give success to this business. Thank you for taking the time out to talk to me. We're going to do part
thank
2
you.
and
Yes.
3 and a lot more of these. This is going to be good. Guys, thanks for listening, for watching. If you're depending on the platform you're at, we're going to have more of these interviews as time goes on during this year. Like this, share this. If you have anything, you can always wind up reaching out on social media, or you can email me at bullofmlm@gmail.com or text or call 708-982-0974. Other than that, you guys have a great damn day, and we'll see you on the next episode.